part of a series of policies that are being implemented across the country where local law enforcement is playing the role of immigration agents, facilitating the process of detention and deportation for immigrants, and it's based on flat-out racial profiling, and it's part of a series of policies that include things such as secure communities and some of the Arizona and Alabama statewide laws that are trying to implement a policy that they call deportation through attrition, which is to make life as inhumanely impossible for immigrants so that they themselves choose to self-deport. And so we're very concerned about the increase of these policies throughout the country, and particularly here in the South, which has a legacy of using racially based social policies to attack the human rights of our communities.
What 287G ultimately means to me is, as these two guys are actually, let's see, they are 1/4 Cuban, and it means that your difference is negative and not positive. And our society nowadays, especially in a supposed melting pot, difference should be welcomed, not ignored, but welcomed and encouraged, because if knowledge is power, ignorance is weakness, and we want our country to be something that we can look for as support, not as something that's trying to hurt our own people.
287G is just a racial profiling policy for our police to unfairly target people based on what they look like and how they came to our community, and it's not about their contribution to our community or what they do here, but it's just about who they are, and that seems wrong, and it's not just, it seems like racism to me.
Yo creo que la 287G es una ley antiinmigrante, es racista y es muy mala porque divide a muchas familias, especialmente a todos esos niños que están aquí en este país, que van a ser el futuro de este país, y también para los trabajadores, que es una ley que no le permite a los trabajadores trabajar, les permite luchar por sus familias, mantenerlas, porque todas las personas que vienen aquí, la mayoría de todas las personas son unas personas trabajadoras, honestas, y yo creo que esta ley es una ley racista y antiinmigrante. Gracias.
To me, 287G is just another way of deporting people and ripping families apart when their only crime might have been a misdemeanor, like failure to produce a driver's license or public intoxication. I am much more concerned about violent crimes in our community than I am about putting someone on a bus and sending them to a detention center in Louisiana due to a misdemeanor offense.
Well, I'm here because I think my people came to this country for a better life quite a few generations ago, and I support and understand why so many people would want to come to this country today for a better life. And we're all in this together, and I believe that different races and kinds of folks, including Latino Americans, enrich this country, and we enrich each other. And I want to support my sisters and brothers who have worked so hard to come here. And I don't think that the county police should be in the immigration business.
I think that 287G is just another sign that we're ramping up enforcement in the interior of the country. Immigration, what we really need is to have immigration reform at the national level and allow immigrants who have been here now, some for decades, to regularize their status. Instead of keeping on increasing enforcement. As local law enforcement should be able to concentrate on people who are really criminals, who rob and maim people. And the more resources we spend on trying to pick up somebody for driving without a license who's working, doing landscaping or construction or whatever it is they've been doing, is resources that could be spent better in this county. For that matter, we could be spending the resources on education in this county instead of spending on law enforcement.
When I think about what 287G means to me, and is it's one more way of saying my neighbors are not welcome. I'm a Christian, so I come from that perspective. And the Bible is pretty clear about who is my neighbor. My neighbor are the people who are strangers in the gate. My neighbors are people who are very different from me. Jesus was asked explicitly, "Who is my neighbor?" When he said, "Love your neighbor as yourself," who is my neighbor? And he said, "Well, let me tell you this story." And he told the story of the Good Samaritan. Your neighbor is people who are radically different from you, and it's quite clear, who our neighbors are. Our neighbors are the strangers in our gates, and our newest neighbors here are many of them are Latino, and so the 287G is a way of saying, striking fear in the hearts of our newest neighbors, which is to me absolutely antithesis of the Judeo-Christian faith. And fear is the absolute antithesis of love. It just is. And so why are we building fear in people's lives? Why are we making them afraid to drive down the street, to go to work? That just because of the way people look, they can now be stopped and are under threat of being whisked away. So I don't think that's the kind of community that most of us want to live in.
I guess for me, it's scary to me because I feel like it's making it okay to just blatantly racially profile people, and I feel like that's really uncomfortable and not something that is acceptable in 2012 or ever. But that's, to me, it just seems like making it okay and by law allowing people to racially profile, and it just seems really backwards.
Como lo dice la pancarta que porto, somos trabajadores no criminales. Estamos en contra de la ley 287G, que lo único que va a venir a hacer es a causar problemas, no solamente para la comunidad hispana, sino para todas las comunidades que estamos aquí como inmigrantes, empezando con la separación de las familias, porque cuando un padre es deportado, sus hijos sufren las consecuencias. Todos estamos en contra de que esta ley pase, porque la policía está para proteger a los ciudadanos, no para perseguir a los inmigrantes. Entonces pedimos a las autoridades que analicen bien y les pedimos que paren esta ley, que lo único que va a venir es a dañar a este condado. Gracias.